Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. And for this week's episode, Megan and I are going to be taking and not necessarily quizzing each other, but like we're going to be testing each other with a bunch of different online quizzes.
I think, so you looked at them a little more, but there's like some personality stuff.
Yes. There was some like relationship dating stuff. I don't know if we'll dive into that one too much.
We'll see what
like
sounds
some random stuff.
And you guys can listen along.
Yeah. Well, I have one specifically was like a stubbornness test, and I was like, I want to do that one on Megan because I feel like she's a stubborn person. So I'm curious what it would say.
Awesome.
So you can look through when you have my computer and see which one you want to do for me. And I'm sure we'll maybe get through a couple. I don't know how long these are.
Before we do that, we are going to do our weekly spotlights. We're going to do our book catch up. We'll do just life updates and stuff like that because that's what we always do first.
My weekly spotlight is this past weekend. We got to go to the lake for the first time this year. And it was windy. Like it was hot, 90s to like almost 100 degrees. But it was so windy that like we didn't get to do much.
And I will say there weren't many people like out on the lake either.
I will say like the bummer about like going to the lake these days is that like we don't tend to go with people who like drive the boat a ton. Like Megan is our designated boat driver,
which like that's not saying much.
So like we pretty much just go for like a little putsy ride around the water. And like we used to like if we were up with our uncle or if we were up with our grandpa, then like they would take the boat out and we'd like go either like water ski or we'd kneeboard. And like we just like Megan's not driving me to do that.
I know. I feel like now if we do that stuff on our own, like we have to do it on the jet ski, and like we can do that, but like we weren't really in the mood to do that this weekend.
I mean, like specifically so this weekend, it was so windy, like the waves. I'm no expert water skier or kneeboarder, so
like it would have been
rather difficult. But we did get the boat out. Megan got the boat out, and then I kind of helped try to like, you know, navigate it back into the lift. That's like all she asks for.
Yeah. I mean, the backing out and going around the lake is fine, especially if like we're not going super fast. I can do that. And then I decide I'm in charge of music when I'm the one driving the boat. So I get to play my little playlist. And then I was like, I can't blame the wind at this point. And because like by the time we were going out for like an evening boat ride, it was windy, but like not enough where like the waves were super bad. Like I had parked the boat in these conditions before. So I was like, I can't blame the wind and the waves if I like ran this into the shore station. I did have to do a little like twice around and try again,
but like everyone has done that.
But it's better than like me slamming into the shore station.
Yeah. When you came back around, it was a good park.
It was. So I'll take it.
What else did we do? So we got there. We went up after work on Friday. I brought my boyfriend up. We brought his dog in Vegas, and then it was Megan, my mom, and my grandma. And we didn't really do anything Friday night.
Fast food for dinner.
Yeah.
I was like, can we please do McDonald's? Please. It sounded really good. And then, so that's what me, my mom, and my grandma did.
We got Culver's coming into town.
Did you have to turn around?
Yes.
Yeah, because we saw you. You were right in front of us.
Megan had called me, and like I didn't see that she called, and so then she texted me and my boyfriend, but he saw his phone because he wasn't driving. And then
do you not have your phone hooked up? I guess you don't ever have it into CarPlay.
It's just
do
the
you?
Bluetooth. It's just Bluetooth, so I didn't see that.
I can't believe you like CarPlay is just like so much better. I can't believe you don't.
But like
have that
for what?
Just like the screen, the setup.
All I need is my music.
You could have maps on. You could have your
really
ETA pop up.
Anyway, so we didn't really do much Friday night. If you guys know, the lore with taking Vegas to the lake is that we've taken it 3 times now. This visit was his best. First time Meg and I took him up was summer of 2023, and he tried
2024.
Yes, you're right. It was just last year. I was like, has it been that long? And it was just us two. He did fine, except for he tried to run away along the shoreline. And if he was gone, he was gone. Like you could run around the whole lake if you wanted to. I actually don't know that. But Then I got nervous to like let him back outside because all I had was his harness, his collar, and like his leash. And I was like, we're keeping him inside. Then he also like wasn't pooping. And so like that was annoying because then like in the middle of the night, like I think I got maybe 2 hours of sleep at a time because he'd like be whining. And I was like, well, he doesn't poop, so I should take him outside. And then he wouldn't poop and we'd come back inside and he'd whine again. I'd be like, I should take him back out, I guess, because maybe he has to poop. And so that was an ongoing battle. And then after that, I was like, I don't want to bring him back up.
Sorry.
So I think the rest of the time we went to the lake summer of last year, I had boarded him or had someone watch him. I don't remember. And then I did bring him up to the lake in December when I went with my boyfriend to like the Christmas on the lake thing because it was wintertime. And so I was like, we're just going to be in the house mostly. So he did fine then, except for he also wouldn't poop. And then I relay the poop fiasco that happened at that time. He pooped
Refer back
twice
to
on
that episode.
2 different beds. It was the weirdest thing. So then, come this time, I wanted my boyfriend to come up, but he's like, if I'm coming up, then I have to bring my dog. And then I'm like, well, I should bring my dog. If I don't need to like board my dog if you're bringing your dog. So I was like, we'll try it again. I bought Vegas a life jacket. And then I have a long lead that's like 30 or 40 feet long. And I was like, I'll just hook this to his life jacket and then he can't run away. It ended up being helpful, but annoying. And then for a little bit on Sunday, I let him go without it. He did okay without it. So, but I did decide for 4th of July, I am boarding him. So that's where we're at with that.
I spent most of my weekend. We have these little like lounger chairs on our deck that are quite comfortable. So I was just basking in the sun. Finally finished reading my book. So I'm going to get to our book updates. I can update that. And yeah, felt like I got like a good tan and good sun, but like no burning at all, which was really good.
I got a little bit burnt on my chest, but I don't think it should be a small time that it like looks burnt.
And then yeah, somehow the day we did try going into town a little bit on Saturday, but like everything was closed, so that was a useless outing, I would say. We also went to dinner.
Yeah, we had gone out to dinner. We got a Pizookie at dinner, and that was so good. If you're in Des Moines, are there any areas that have Pizookies? If so, please let me know, because I'm unaware.
And then Sunday morning,
spotlight?
the lake.
Yeah.
I had was this not since we last recorded? I guess not, right?
Your dates?
I've gone on 2 dates since we last spoke, and they've both been pretty good dates.
It's with the same person.
Yeah. It's the one I met on Hinge, and I think we're going to continue seeing each other. And I did more in-depth analysis debriefs on my TikTok, so you can always go follow me there.
At Megan Stitz 1. Cross promotion. Okay, book updates.
I finally finished reading Face Off, which is like the first in a hockey romance series. I don't know that I'm going to continue it. Like, it was fine, but like even in my sports romances, I feel like I like a little bit more going on plot-wise than was going on in this book. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. And next, I am planning on starting Rebel Witch today. I was going to start it last night, and then I just didn't get around to it. But it's finally on Kindle Unlimited. So
that's such good news.
So I got it on my Kindle, and it's ready to go. And if I go to the gym, my plan is to do 12-3:30 while I read.
I am still reading Two Twisted Crowns. I promise I will not be when we next record. I think I'm like halfway through. I would love to finish tomorrow, which is kind of like potentially a tall order for me.
It's hard when you really start to kind of take a while in a fantasy book and then like to get reinvested again.
It's like I'm enjoying it. I just feel like I've been too lazy, and like when I could read, I'm like not. And then like if I'm going to bed, I'm like,
I feel that,
going on my phone. Like I just need to reorganize and restructure what I'm doing and when. It's just hard in the summer when like there's so much to do versus in the winter. I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? I'll just sit and read. Versus in summertime, it's like you feel like you can or want to do more. You want to leave the house. Which brings me to a question for you guys. I am getting more into audiobooks, and I got Libby, and I expressed this concern last time. Do you guys really just like wait forever for these audiobooks? Because like ideally I would love to have an audiobook version of whatever book I'm reading available to me at the same time so that I could like go back and forth if I needed to. But like Two Twisted Crowns, like the audiobook is like saying it's like several months out or something for like the hold that I have on it. Obviously,
So
I'm
you're
not
not getting
going to
that.
need it in several months. So, and like, could I just bite the bullet and like pay for Spotify Premium or Audible?
Well, you have Spotify Premium.
Well, yeah,
but
like
you don't have the next
whatever
tier.
extra subscription is.
Do you know how much Audible is?
Off the top of my head, no.
I don't either.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that and see if it's worth it or not. I don't know.
To be determined.
But right now I'm 2 books behind on my yearly reading goal, and I need to get caught back up. So that's
Okay.
my reading update.
Shall we dive into the quizzes?
Yes. First one that I'm going to be giving to Megan is a stubbornness quiz. So give me a second to pull it up.
What website are these on?
Queendom.com. Okay.
I guess I shouldn't look in case, I don't know if that matters. I guess you're going to be reading everything to me, but
There's an old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. In life, you can either adopt an open mind or you can put blinders on and refuse to see things any other way than your way. Are you obstinately stubborn? Take this test. Read each question carefully and choose the answer that best describes your typical attitudes, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And remember, this test is just for fun. Are you currently holding on to a long-standing grudge or grievance from years ago? Yes, several actually. Yes, a few. 1 or 2. Or no.
what was the first one?
Yes, several actually.
And the last one? No.
No.
I'll say 1 to 2.
Have you been issued more than 2 tickets for the same violation? I mean, you have
Traffic stop wise?
yeah, or like
no.
because you haven't gotten a ticket at all, right?
I've never been pulled over. Knock on wood.
Okay. After watching you do a task, an experienced colleague taps you on the shoulder and mentions that there's a much faster way to do it without cutting corners or affecting quality. She offers to show you how. Would you try her method? No, my way is fine. I would try it, but I can't pick up this new way. But if I can't pick this new way up fast enough, I'll just go back to my approach.
That would be it.
Yes, I love hacks.
Second one.
Can you think of an example like where this has happened, either in like work or just in life?
My initial reaction and thought, which like isn't exactly like the same thing, but like my initial reaction was like, ugh, because I was thinking back to there was like a day at work, this was a while ago, where we had like a higher up person that like does clinical stuff, like has a clinical background, but also like day to day now, like she's doing other stuff. And I was treating a patient, and it was just kind of strange because like while she was there for most of the day, like she was just kind of like observing different therapists like while they're treating their patients. And then I'm sure this was all like with good intention, but like she would just kind of like throw in like, oh, like maybe you could try this out. And I'm just like, you literally don't even know the patient I'm working with at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a little strange and off-putting. But
Okay. Several friends, romantic partners, and family members have pointed out a fault that they feel you should work on, and now your newest partner has just mentioned it too. What would you do? I'd be more conscious of this behavior and try to change it. I'd ask for examples of this quote-unquote fault in action to see if they can prove their claim or if they're just being purposely nasty. Even if what they're saying about me is true, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just how I am. I'd ignore their comments. They are just projecting their own faults onto me. It's probably because they're jealous of me.
I would say the second one.
Be asking for examples.
Yeah.
I think I'd do
I was
that
like,
too.
be asking for...
Okay, when?
Yeah.
What? What am I doing?
So maybe you're just as stubborn as I am.
That's actually on, I think, the less stubborn side.
Huh?
I think that was on the less stubborn side. Your friend believes in a conspiracy theory that you find absolutely ridiculous, In spite of your well-structured argument explaining why it's a crazy, baseless theory he refuses to see things your way, what would you do? Tell him that he is being incredibly stubborn and foolish. Keep trying to convince him, or let it go. There's no point in trying to change his mind.
Probably keep trying to convince them.
Okay. Your friend provides evidence disproving a theory or belief you have. In fact, it's more than one piece of evidence and from several reliable sources. What would you do?
Relook my own stuff up.
Trust this new evidence and change my theory/belief. Examine this new evidence as objectively as possible and maybe start to reconsider my theory/belief. Question the validity of his evidence and look for proof that my theory/belief is correct. Dismiss his proof. I don't care if there's evidence disproving what I think. I will continue to believe what I want.
I feel like the second one.
Examine
It'd
the new
probably
evidence.
like a mix between the second and third one, but I feel like second one.
You had a huge fight with your partner and have not spoken for a week. You still love each other very much and both want to continue the relationship. How likely is it that you would be the first one to break the silence and apologize for the role you played in the fight? Not a chance. I refuse to be the first one to say sorry in any situation. I would wait things out a little longer. If the silent treatment continued for another week, then I would get the ball rolling. Very likely, I'm willing to say sorry when it's necessary.
Assuming that, okay. Assuming that, we are going to get back together or, circle back around, as this is implying, then I have to imagine, whatever was done, was not, the biggest red flag deal breaker in the world. So I would like to think that I would circle back and open up communication. What's the last one?
Last one is very likely. I am willing to say sorry when it's necessary.
I feel like that one.
Okay.
Unless you, you seem like you're disagreeing with me on that.
I would have said the second one for you just based off of, when you were talking about your last relationship. You were, waiting for a response, and you're I'll just wait.
But that was my caveat, though, was that I was I kind of felt like it wasn't going to be progressing past this. So I was waiting for that person's response to be what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The second one was saying you would, give it a week and then circle back.
Okay, well, then let's go change it since we have
I don't know
a real life example.
Or I don't know if I can go back.
Okay. Never mind.
You're planning a trip with friends. They all want to go to the same place, but you prefer to go somewhere else. Despite your efforts to describe how amazing your option is, no one else is on board. What would you do? Tell them that if we don't go where I won't be coming. Keep trying to convince them to change the plan. Go to the place they chose, but make it clear in my words and actions that I am not happy about it.
No, I would never do that.
Accept their decision and try to enjoy myself. Let it go as long as we're both having fun. I don't care where we are.
Second to last one.
Okay, number 9. Your boss calls you into her office on Friday morning to tell you that the task you completed the day before was not done well. She explains what needs to be fixed and informs you that she wants it done and handed in by the end of the day. What would you do? Leave it as is and pretend that I fixed it. Make some of the changes she asked for, but not all of them. Change it exactly as she requested, but take my sweet time so that she has to wait after work for it. Make all the fixes she asked for and get it done by the end of the day or earlier. Tell her that if she doesn't like the way I did the task, she can fix it herself.
Second to last one.
Okay. You've been working on the same goal for 5 years with no real progress. You are planning to open up a business with a friend. You've spent a lot of time and money and spoken to different experts for advice, but it's just not happening. You're both frustrated and not enjoying the process anymore. What would you do? Keep trying. I refuse to give up on this. Talk to all the experts again and see if we can find a different approach. If not, I will drop the idea. Let this dream go and try to find something else to work towards.
Read the situation again.
You've been working on the same goal for 5 years with no real progress. You're planning to open up a business with a friend. You spent a lot of time and money and spoken to different experts for advice, but it's just not happening. You're both frustrated and not enjoying the process anymore. What would you do?
Probably the last one.
Let it go.
Let it go. Move on to something else.
Okay. Your score is 30.
That doesn't sound very stubborn.
I don't think it does. You're a very open-minded person. Rather than being stuck in your ways, you're willing to try new things, see the world from different perspectives, and compromise when necessary. This shows mental flexibility, compassion, and empathy, courage, and a willingness to learn. People who are too stubborn have a very narrow view of the world, which means they have the potential to miss out on so much. That being said, there is, of course, a potential downside to being too flexible, blah, blah, blah. So
I feel like I probably have, like, situational stubbornness. Like, when
you know you're right, you're right.
Yeah. When do you, since you so strongly were like, Megan's taking this quiz?
What's mostly, like, if you don't want to do something, like, you're just not going to do it.
It's funny because I feel that way about you.
I feel like you're more, like, hard-headed about it because, like, you're like, I don't want to do it, and I'm like, I don't care to do it. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Anyway, we will go back to the leaderboard. And you can let me know if you see any fun quizzes. I have to go back to actually, like, the main page that we were at.
Oh, gosh.
It's only 10 questions ago. I'm already back there. Now I'm back there. Okay. Handing out for my computer. Give, like, a little run through of, like, some of the tests, though.
Okay, so we've got, in the personality section, we've got the empath test, the stubbornness test, the geek test, the scaredy cat test, the self-entitled test. That could be interesting. Maybe we'll do that one.
Pull it off to the side.
Appearance. We've got the fashion test, the vanity test, the personal hygiene test. I don't know how to say this word. Machismo. Do you know how to say that?
I actually don't know how it's pronounced.
We have behavior, the annoying influencer test. Should we do that?
We could.
The gut instinct test, the busybody test, the etiquette test, the gossip test. Ooh, we could do the gossip one. I'm going to pull over the gossip one. I'm going to pull over the annoying influencer test. Yes or no to gut instinct?
No.
Okay.
That's my gut instinct.
All right. We've got family and friends category, career and money. In family and friends, we have the dysfunctional family test, the friendship test, the liberal parent test, the party guest test, and the roommate test. In career and money, if you want me to pull any of these over, let me know. The moocher test, the president test, the good employee test, the $10 million test, and the ambition test.
Either $10 million or ambition.
Let's do the $10 million. Okay. We'll see what we get to. I need my glasses.
She means business. I think I need to go to the eye doctor. Mostly, like, I haven't been in a while. And I kind of want new glasses.
You want a different color?
Maybe. Different frames, maybe.
All right, here is the self-entitled test. Everyone deserves respect, love, and success. Sometimes, though, we can get carried away with this notion and develop the belief that the world owes us somehow. Does this sound like you? Take this test. Read each question carefully. Choose the answer that best describes your typical attitudes, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And remember, this test is just for fun. Question 1. I expect people to be there for me whenever I need them, regardless of the circumstances. No excuses. Yes, somewhat, no.
Somewhat.
I honestly think that I am superior to most people in terms of intelligence, skills, and or attractiveness. Yes, somewhat, no.
Somewhat.
I should get a raise at work every year regardless of how well I perform. Totally agree, mostly agree, somewhat agree/disagree, mostly disagree, totally disagree.
Mostly disagree.
My family, friends, and significant others should consider themselves privileged to have me in their lives. Totally agree, mostly agree, somewhat agree/disagree, mostly disagree, totally disagree.
I mean, totally agree. Am I not a blessing to have around?
Am I not really a privilege to be around? The needs of many outweigh the needs of the few. totally agree, mostly agree, somewhat agree, mostly disagree, totally disagree.
Mostly agree. The will of the many.
In your romantic relationship, whose needs should come first? Mine, my partner's. It depends. If I'm going through a difficult time, for example, my needs should take precedence over my partner's. Both of our needs matter and should be balanced.
Balanced.
How do you typically respond when people say no to you? I yell, cry, or cut them out of my life forever. You're on the enemy list. I say no next time they need something from me. I try to convince them to change their mind, but accept it if they don't. I let it go. If I have a right to ask for something, they have a right to refuse.
I honestly am petty enough. I might sometimes say no. Like if they ask me for something and they couldn't help, then I'd be like, sorry, can't help ya. Depends on the scenario though, but we can do that one.
Okay. After a major fight with your partner, you show up at a friend's house with a suitcase in hand. You tell him or her that you need a month away from your partner to think about things. Your friend agrees to let you stay for as long as you need. Would you offer to pay your share of the utilities, rent and mortgage, and or food? Of course I would. It's only fair. Only if my friend asks me to contribute. My heart is broken. If I wanted to pay to stay at someone's place, I would have gone to a hotel.
Say of course. I'm staying there for a month. A week? No.
You're at the grocery store to pick up milk and bread. As you line up to pay, you notice the woman waiting in front of you has a pretty full cart and there are no other cash registers open. What would you do? Cut in front of her. I only have 2 things to pay for. Ask her if I can pass ahead. Wait, but sigh in frustration, give her annoyed glances, and look meaningfully at her cart, hoping she gets the hint and lets me pass ahead of her. Stay in line and wait until it's my turn.
Stay in line. I'm someone who I'm like, I really don't care. We're all at the grocery store. I might like peek around and be like, is there a faster one I can get to? But like, I really don't care.
I agree. Question 10. You've been hired in a new company in a leadership position and bring a lot of knowledge and experience with you. Your boss starts you off by having you shadow a younger colleague as he or she takes the lead on a team assignment. The goal, as your boss explains, is to just get a feel for how things are done before you're assigned the lead on a project. How would you feel about this? I'd be angry. I should have been given the lead on a project right from the start. These people should be asking me what I can teach them. I'd be a little annoyed with the fact that I have to learn from someone younger than me, but I guess I would tolerate it. I'd be fine with this setup. Obviously, I need to learn how this company is run before I'm given my first assignment.
I'd be fine with the setup.
All right. For the self-entitled test, you scored a 34. Whatever you achieve in life, it is because you worked hard to earn it. You don't expect things to be handed to you. You don't make excessive demands of others, and you don't whine and complain if things are not going your way. You are not a selfish or self-centered person, and you won't take from someone unless there is something you can give in return. Stepping on other people's toes just because they get in the way of what you want, or stepping on other people's toes just because they get in the way of what you want is not your style. Sure, life can sometimes be unfair, and it would be great if you could get your way or get what you deserve, but that's just not how things work, and you accept it. You're humble, hardworking, and the perfect example of how a mature person should behave.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
Thank you. That's what she needed from the self-entitled test.
Okay. Let's do... You do the gossip test or the annoying influencer?
You can pick.
Let's do the gossip test for you. Do you love dishing the dirt on other people? When someone trusts you with a secret, are you just bursting to spill
I was about to be like, yes.
Find out if you can keep your lips sealed with this test.
I know I can't.
Okay. A rumor is going around about your best friend that you know is not true, but is such a good story. Do you still pass it on?
Oh, well, no. Why would I do that?
Gossip is only fun when it's true.
Good, right?
If there was a service that could dig up gossip on any person you want, would you pay for it?
No. I have a thing about paying for services, and that's not something I'm paying for.
You found out from a very reliable source that an acquaintance has been charged with soliciting a prostitute. Do you immediately pick up the phone to tell other people about it?
Yes.
You're at a strip club when you notice that the stripper on stage is one of your coworkers. What do you do? Enjoy the show and keep it to yourself. Tell my friends, but keep a lid on it at work. Tell everyone at work the next day.
I wouldn't be there. Well,
in theory.
Read the options again.
Enjoy the show and keep it to myself. Tell my friends, but keep a lid on it at work. Tell everyone at work the next day.
Tell my friends.
I'd probably do that too. You're in the sauna at a spa with a high-profile celebrity. Sits his or her naked butt right next to yours. What do you do? Check him or her out to satisfy my curiosity. Tell my friends. Give an exact eyewitness account of his or her body to anyone who is willing to listen.
Tell my friends.
Yeah, I just guess who's in the
Basically, like
sauna with me.
The end of the story is like, I'll be telling my friends.
I'll be telling someone about this. The right people.
Yeah, where it won't
affect you. Would you create an untrue rumor about someone else in order to diffuse a rumor going around about you?
No.
Have you ever spoiled a surprise party by spilling the beans?
No. I value surprise parties a lot. Like, just like any surprise where it's like, you can't relay this information to, you can't not make it a surprise. I didn't word that very well.
Your friend confides in you that he or she is seeing a sex therapist. Do you pass the info along to other friends?
No.
You overhear a couple in a cafe say the word affair. Do you tune in?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm tipping my head back.
If I'm with someone, I'll be saying...
Do you remember when we were in...
Hold on.
The U.S. Virgin Islands? And, we were at dinner. We already talked about this on the podcast, but, we were all trying to figure out what was going on at that table.
And I still
don't
know what was going on at the table, but it seemed like some sort of, interview for, some sort
throuple,
of,
scenario.
Yeah. It was weird.
It was interesting. Do you read the tabloids?
No.
Let's score it. You got 30. We're really in the 30 era.
Is this a good number, a good range to be in?
Although you're not a diehard gossip, you do enjoy dishing the dirt now and then. You may read tabloids, let the occasional secret slip, or even add your own special touch to the stories you tell. You'll try to resist the temptation to blab, but it's not easy for you, especially when you've got a particularly juicy piece of info. But you'll draw the line at certain pieces of gossip. Anyway, I feel like moral of the story for gossip is that if something juicy is going around, I will likely tell my friends and or family. I'm always going to only tell what I think is true, and I'm only telling people to which it does not matter. It won't get, but you've got different life groups. My dad will tell me something about one of his work friends, and and
he'll be like, don't tell anyone.
And I'm well, I can tell my mom.
I'm also what do you think I'm gonna do?
Where it doesn't matter. They have no idea who I'm talking about, but I'm it's interesting. So I didn't mean to close my laptop on you. Do you know my password?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Pretty sure. I don't think
don't tell them. I love yapping about life happenings.
Okay. This means now we get to do the annoying influencer test. As I prefer the term content creator personally.
I feel like we'll actually score well. But we'll see. I don't know what kind of questions
you won't be
asking.
annoying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're annoying.
I'm actually just also a horrible influencer in terms of
influencing people.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, is this going to be... I just am curious to see, what the questions are going to be about. I feel like part of it could be, are you setting up your camera, in this public space? I don't know. We'll see. Some influencers use their reach to pass on useful information and ideas. Some use it to boost their ego and manipulate people into giving them freebies. Do you use your influencing power for good, or are you just annoying? Find out with this test. Here we go. How often do you offer to promote people or their businesses instead of paying for the food, amenities, or services they give you? Daily, weekly, monthly, every few months, once or twice a year, every few years, never.
I don't think that we've done this, have we? I don't know. I'll say
where I've reached out to the business.
I guess I can actually think of a couple
in Hawaii,
things.
When I remember we were trying to reach out to places and hotels that didn't end up going anywhere. So
I can think of a couple
actually.
Paid. So we'll say, what was the last one?
Every few years.
What was the second to last?
Once or twice a year.
I'll do that one because I did get a free meal at a restaurant and they offered to comp you and me our dinner if I like posted about it. And like I'm open to it.
Yeah.
You know, I like the opportunity to do so. But I don't ever
You also
reach
just
out.
got like a free sweatshirt too.
Yeah.
For posting about it.
When they like reach out to me, I don't usually reach out. I can't think of a time where I've reached out to someone unless it's like a business proposal, like you said. But like again, and they don't reach back out to us.
Yeah, like that's the only one I can really even think of. So. Okay. Do you get upset when people refuse to give you free stuff or to comp your bill in exchange for social media exposure? I become furious and might even leave them a bad review or tell my followers not to buy from these people. I become pretty angry. The attention I can get them will be much more valuable than anything they give me. It's a little frustrating. Some people don't realize that I am offering a service in return. It's bartering. It might bother me a bit, but I understand that not everyone will see it as a fair exchange. I don't get upset at all. They're allowed to say no.
The last one. I also, again, never ask.
Have you ever recorded yourself doing a good deed? No, never. Yes, once. Yes, a few times. Yes, many times.
I mean, probably. What was the last one?
Yes, many times.
What was the first one? No, never. What was the second one?
Yes, once.
What's the third one?
Yes, a few times.
Maybe a few times.
Well, I'm trying to think of like what.
I don't know, but I feel like maybe like you're going to like donate clothes to Goodwill and like that's a good luck.
Good deed?
Yeah.
You said a good luck.
Good luck.
Oh, okay. I was like,
at first I was confused. I was like, no, I said Goodwill.
Okay. So you just think like within all of the times we recorded,
like we vlog enough, and I'm sure like if we are doing something, even if it's not like, you know, for the camera, but like we're like, oh, we should include this because it's a good look. I don't know.
We'll say yes.
Like probably not set up for the sake of doing it on a vlog.
Like we're not over here being like going to donate $10,000 to my waitress. Yeah. Be totally honest. Do you edit and or add filters to your photos? Yep, a lot. I have an image to keep up, even if it's not an entirely true image. Moderately, marginally. Nope, I show the real me and all my glory and imperfections. No makeup, no filters, no edits.
I mean, I gotta do like the middle one, right? Because I technically do still
Moderately
have
or marginally?
Oh, those are two options?
Yeah.
I'll say marginally. Because the only thing I do to my photos, I use a G7X because it's got great quality. And then I still do add like the like Lightroom filter. I do turn it down.
Me too.
Quite a ways now, where it's like, is it even doing anything? I don't know. That's the only thing that I do to my photos.
Have you ever photoshopped yourself into a photo of a place you never actually visited, changed your home decor to make it look like you were staying somewhere new, or otherwise lied to your followers about where you were or what you did that day? No, never. Yes, once. Yes, a few times. Yes, many times.
I would say no, never.
Have you ever taken a picture in a situation that was incredibly dangerous just to get views and likes? No, never. Yes, once. Yes, a few times. Yes, many times.
I'm like, how dangerous are we talking?
It's kind of up to you.
Like,
can you think?
I will say, like, the Costa Rica thing, like, to get that waterfall picture was like, was it dangerous? Like, life-threatening? No, but like,
was it like,
was
I'm doing
quite
this
a
to
hassle
get a
for
photo.
a photo. So like, that was kind of ridiculous.
But it says incredibly dangerous.
I know.
I can't think of a time that we were risking our lives out here for a photo.
No. So I guess no. What was the option?
No, never. Yes, once.
I guess no, never. Sorry, I had to yawn.
You're at a memorial/monument that honors a tragic time in history. Do you use the opportunity to take a selfie? Definitely. My followers will be so moved by it. Only if other people are taking selfies or if no one is around. Only if the lighting is good. Definitely not. That would be so distasteful.
I would say definitely not. I would never take like a selfie at a place like that.
You know,
I can think of like
you
that
know
girl
who
at
would?
the Holocaust memorial, like at Auschwitz. She was like taking selfies and she like, you know, got a lot of flack online for that. Like obviously take
Loki,
photos.
you know who's gonna do this? Like, not. I'm just like, if we were at a memorial with our dad, guess who's telling us like, hey guys, let's take a selfie. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah. But like,
You know
he
what I
wouldn't
mean?
know.
He's not. Well, he would maybe post it on Facebook actually, but it's for. He'd be like, I don't know how he'd word it, but he'd be like, at the Auschwitz Memorial with my girls, such a humbling experience. Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Okay. The influencer. When you're out with friends, family, or your significant other, are you mostly on your phone taking photos and or posting updates to your followers about where you are and what you're doing? All the time. It's tough, but it must be done. Most of the time. Sometimes it depends on where I am or who I'm with. Rarely. Never. All of my attention is on the people/person I'm with.
What was the third?
Sometimes it depends where I am or who I'm with.
I would say that. And less about like being like a social media, like, you know, posting stuff. It's more like if it's you and me eating dinner. Sometimes we're just on our phones.
Have friends, family, romantic partners, or strangers ever complained about how much time and effort you spend on your influencer stuff? No, never. Yes, once. Yes, a few times. Yes, many times.
I would say no, never.
Like we said, we're not very good influencer people, so. Okay, last one. Do you have a fake account or several in which you respond to your own posts as a fan? Yes, I am sure many influencers do that. I used to do that. No, I would never do that.
No. I did have like a private Instagram, like when everyone had like their Finstas, but I don't think I ever went to my actual Instagram to
You
do anything.
scored an 18.
30. Oh.
What does this mean? You're one of the good ones. You seem to be using your influencing powers honestly and with good intentions, at least most of the time. With all this backlash against influencers trying to get freebies and manipulating their photos, it's nice to see someone who's willing to be straightforward. If you were truthful when taking the test and not lying to yourself, then good on you. That being said, it's important for you to fully understand why you have chosen to become an influencer and what you hope to get out of it. Wanting fame is a common motivator, but it shouldn't be the only reason why you do it. A desire for status, which for some people is essentially just a glamorous cover-up for a desperate need for approval, could compel you to do rash things in order to get and keep that attention. Do a little research on people who are friends, family members, or romantic partners of influencers. It will give you insight into what it's like to be on the other side of it. You'll find that it's not as fun for them. The point is, continue to use your influence for good and do it for the right reasons.
Okay. I know we've got at least one more quiz pulled up. Did you pull up the etiquette test?
Yeah, but if you want to look at
I thought you were going to do the $10
ones.
million one.
Okay.
Okay. Did you want to do the etiquette test?
I don't care what you pick.
Here, I'll read the description and you decide. Are your manners perfectly suited for living at Buckingham Palace or an old McDonald's farm? Is your social behavior cringeworthy? Find out if your manners are honorable or horrible with this test. Or, oh, you know what just happened? I just pulled up.
Was it?
It was the wrong link. It's like they hyperlinked it wrong.
Okay.
So now I can't get to the other one.
What if you go to the etiquette test?
Let me try. I don't really know where the etiquette test is at. So perhaps. Oh wait, I see it. If I pull it up, it takes me to the etiquette test.
Okay. So there is no $10 million test.
Are going to do the etiquette test. Question number 1. You find out that a friend is dating someone from your past. You dated him or her before meeting your friend. He or she wants to compare notes on their dating habits. Do you spill the details?
Is this just yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Your friend has invited you to dinner. When you call to ask if you can bring something like dessert or drinks, he or she says no. Do you bring something anyway?
No.
I took you at your word for that one.
Trust me. You say no? Okay.
And guess what? Sometimes I don't even ask. Have you ever snooped in someone's medicine cabinet?
No.
You are seated in the middle of a long row at the opera. You have to pee pretty badly. What do you do? Whisper, "Excuse me," to everyone in my row and go to the bathroom. Wait until intermission. Wet myself.
Wait till intermission. I would try.
I can hold my pee for a while. Like that's like if I have many talents, that is one. I used to pride myself in like on flights and stuff. I'd be like, I didn't go to the bathroom.
And why does she
what?
care? I don't know.
Your fiance dumped you a year ago. You're still single when you get a wedding invitation to his or her marriage. What do you do?
Why would I be going to their wedding?
Decline but send a gift. Show up with the hottest date I can find.
Decline.
Send a sarcastic congratulations card.
I'm not sending a gift to them either.
You're like, I'm ignoring it.
I will say that because I don't know what else to say.
Do you use the express lane at the supermarket when you have more than 10 items?
Well, my supermarket doesn't have a 10-item limit. So
Would
yes,
you?
I do.
Okay.
But I'm not breaking the rules.
Would you let someone go into a bathroom stall knowing there was no more toilet paper?
Probably, yeah. I'm so sorry. That could go 50-50. Like, it really could just depend on the day. And I'm not trying to be malicious, but sometimes it's just like, it's out of my hands.
Or it's like if it was already empty for you, it's like, why? Then it's embarrassing because it's like, well, I had to figure something out. You know what I mean? Versus like, if you were the last one, I feel like you'd be like, oh, it's out now.
Yeah.
You know?
I could agree with that. That's a good take on it.
But it really should not be. Like, we should just, there's no toilet paper in there. Don't go in there.
I'm trying to be honest.
Have you ever hung up on a family member?
I'll just assume like at some point in my life. Yes,
I feel like I have. Have you ever farted and blamed it on someone else?
No. I feel like if anything, usually like sometimes like my farts are like silent and I'm kind of like, that might have been me, but I also like, I don't know.
Okay. Your score is a 50. While you're probably not ready for dinner at Buckingham Palace, you do manage to follow at least some of society's rules of decorum when it suits you, of course. You know that etiquette exists to provide general guidelines for conduct, but don't see the need to follow all of them. This isn't a problem per se. Rules of decorum, after all, evolve with time. How many of the men you know would lay their jacket across a mud puddle for a lady friend? Okay. Anyway.
All right.
You're 50-50.
I'll take it.
And that's all the ones we had pulled up. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed our little quiz episode. Did you have a favorite quiz?
I like the gossip and the stubborn quizzes.
I like the influencer one.
Okay.
I thought that was a fun one. And the questions were not what I was expecting, so I appreciated that. I expected it to be like, how many times do you like, if I asked stuff about like, how many photos do you take, could you imagine? Like, be a million. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we do have a video version of the podcast where we post them same time, same day. You could literally watch it at the same time as the episode is posted on Spotify. We don't delay it like some podcasts do. And I feel like we had just as many watches on there as we do listen through the app. So
thank you guys for supporting our YouTube channel.
We also have an Instagram at According To. You can comment some future episode ideas, comment your thoughts on this one. Keep up with us.
And we will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye.